this tight end room has so much freaking potential, man. You go from Jelani Woods just showing how good he could be, how big and explosive he is. You have Alie-Cox, who's a bigger tight end, can go up and grab it, dunk it. He's dunking over people. You got Kylen Granson, kind of a speedster. Andrew Ogletree, who had a pretty good camp last year, unfortunately suffered an ACL tear that ended his rookie year. And you have Will Mallory, who is the rookie out of Miami. And this tight end room, every single player in this room has high potential, except for Alie-Cox. He has kind of reached his ceiling. So if you enjoy Colts content, NFL content, make sure you like, subscribe, put the post notification bell on so you don't miss any future videos. Promise you, man, you won't be disappointed. So let's start with the rookie, Will Mallory. Right? Will Mallory, 6'5", 245, out of Miami. He's kind of like a change of pace tight end. Like, you know how you look at a change of pace running back? Maybe one guy is a bruiser and then the other guy is just a quick, hand it out to him, let him run up the middle. Not really make much of a read, just run straight and, one read and the running back. And, just change of pace, just to change it up a little bit and so it doesn't get stale, doesn't get, same thing over and over again. Keep the defense guessing, keep them on their toes. That's kind of what Will Mallory is in tight end for him. He can be very scary up the seam. He'd be a very good quick throw to the seam type of tight end. Put him in the slot once in a while. He's a little faster than you'd think. 6'5", he's got decent speed. Coming out of Miami, he's pretty productive. Over 1,500 receiving yards. Quite a few touchdowns. Very versatile. Can do a lot. And decent route running. Good catching. Will Mallory has high potential. I think he's the guy you need to watch out for. Now, the thing is, he's going to have to compete with someone else for that fourth spot, and that someone else is Andrew Ogletree. The only thing that Andrew Ogletree has over Will Mallory now is having an entire offseason. Well, really, it doesn't help him because, with the ACL tear, but, and it is a new system, but Alec Ogletree has been in the system a little longer. He's been in the NFL in a way, so he kind of knows some of the processes, but really not too much. In training camp, he tore his ACL, so knows the off-season process. He probably knows, probably learned how to watch tape a little bit better, all that, off-season stuff. And Will Mallory is just getting into that, just learning that still. But both these guys have high character. Both of them are 6'5". It's just, man, who's going to get that fourth spot? Because I can't tell you who. I think Will Mallory might get it because he's a little younger. He's a little younger. He's around the same size. A little thinner in terms of his frame. Not really height. It's the same height. But I think Will Mallory can be a little more of a dynamic weapon. But maybe Alec Ogletree can be a tight end that a little bit of both can, be a threat up the seam and dunk over people. But I think Will Mallory is a bit more refined as a receiver. And I think you already have a much better version in Alec Ogletree, like a much, much, much better version in Jelani Woods. So I think Will Mallory is a nice change of pace tight end that the Colts should keep at 4. Bump down Andrew Ogletree, maybe to practice squad if he makes cuts, which I think he might make waivers. Bump him on a practice squad. Get Will Mallory in that tight end room. And, I think there's going to be 4 tight ends, 3 running backs, 4 tight ends. This tight end room has too much talent, too much potential to not have 4. So, in the way that Shane Steichen would like to run his offense, he likes to run a lot. He likes, he likes to utilize the tight ends. So, Will Mallory and, and just having 4 is probably ideal. So, from Will Mallory and Andrew Ogletree, we're going to go to Kylen Granson. Kylen Granson, man, he's been that tight end. You kind of wish he gets more time because, whenever he's in the game, it seems like he's making a big play, whether he's receiving or he's blocking. He's a better blocker than you think. You turn on the film, and he is a decent blocker. Do not underestimate his ability to block. He may be 6'2", may not be that big of a tight end, but He makes a big difference in the blocking game, in the run game. He can play in the slot. He can play inline. He's very versatile. Can run up the seam. Nice route running. Nice breaks. He understands coverages. Can work on his hands. They are inconsistent at times, but Kylen Granson, man, he's a dynamic weapon, and he plays often and he makes a big impact. I hope Shane Steichen finds a way to get him involved because he can be a mismatch nightmare. He could be really that mismatch guy that you're looking for just to get, maybe that height advantage in the slot. Because a lot of the slot receivers, slot corners, they're not the biggest of guys. So sometimes having that height advantage and still having some of that speed is quite nice. Quite nice. So Kylen Granson being the third tight end, I think that's fair. Although I think he should be number 2 over Alie-Cox. I like Alie-Cox. He's a good tight end. But his ceiling's kind of reached. His potential's kind of reached. He didn't play football since his freshman year or sophomore year of high school. And then he didn't play senior or junior. Didn't play in college. He just straight up came back to football. And the Colts said, hey, you're big. Hey, you want to come play tight end? And he said yes. And the rest is history. He's been tight end for a couple of years. I think the potential is reached. His hands are inconsistent. He's a big tight end that can go up and catch over anybody. But I think his potential is reached considering he hasn't played football in so long. He was so raw. I just think his potential is kind of reached. I don't think he really has much more. Now, it doesn't mean he's bad. He's a decent tight end. I just think that Jelani Woods and Kylen Granson, who should be ahead of him, is a bit more dynamic in in his game, what he does. I think Kylen Granson should be at number 2, but Alie-Cox, he's been a decent tight end for us. He's a very good blocker, a pretty good pass catcher, really more so a contested catch guy, but he's done his job. He's done his job. He's done his part, and I think it's time we really talk about the guy that we are super excited for, and that is Jelani Woods, the huge freak of nature. He's 6'6" or 6'7"? I think he's 6'7". But he ran an incredible 40 time. He, remember me saying that this room has a lot of potential. The potential's through the roof. Yeah, this guy is his potential. Jelani Woods, his potential is through the roof. The sky is the limit. He is incredibly explosive for how big he is. There's so much to look forward to. And now you're going to have, he's a good blocker, a very good blocker as well, good catcher of the football, good at running routes, good at finding the weaknesses in zones. He could beat man. Or just go up and catch it over him. He could run past him maybe. Probably not. He's not that fast. But he's pretty darn fast for how big he is. Watch out for Jelani Woods. He may be the guy that really breaks out this year. I know a lot of people may be talking about some other guys breaking out, but I think Jelani Woods is the breakout candidate for 2023. Apologize. Having a quarterback that can really throw it, can really throw the needle, that can really throw that pigskin, I think it's really going to help. And I think it's really going to help Jelani Woods mold into his own. Yeah, Matt Ryan can throw, but Matt Ryan's arm is a wet noodle at this point in his career. And compared to Anthony Richardson, his arm is like a little twig. Anthony Richardson's arm, toss it 70 yards downfield, no sweat. So Jelani Woods will definitely benefit from having Anthony Richardson. Jelani Woods will benefit Anthony Richardson. It's a win-win. Jelani Woods is gonna be number 1. He's gonna be great. Really excited for him. There's a few times last year you went to him and he answered and he did it. I want to see them utilize more and having a coach and having someone that's going to actually, utilize them and really use the players that should be being used and getting them involved. Jelani Woods is in for big years. So that's it for the tight end room. I want you guys to give me your thoughts. What do you think about this tight end room? Do you agree with me? Do you think, who do you think should make the roster? Should there be 4 tight ends? Should there be 3? Do you think Alie-Cox should be in the roster? That could be a surprising cut, honestly. Maybe will Mallory, Alec, Ogletree, and all these other guys, if you were able to mold Alie-Cox into a good tight end, considering he hasn't, he didn't play in college at all since freshman or sophomore. It's one of the two. Imagine what you could do maybe with a guy like Alec Ogletree. I think he's got more upside at this point. So yeah, I want you guys to let me know what you think. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, put the post notification bell on so you don't miss any future videos. So that's all I got for you today. It's JDW Sports Talk Show. Signing off.